Hello, everybody. This is Anthony Harmon, your professional local real estate agent out of Remax Heritage in Blue Springs, Missouri. Today, I'm going to be dipping into my electrical and engineering background to give you guys a more informative style, technical home improvement content. I hope you guys like it. Today, we are going to be discussing installing your own Tesla home charger and what is needed, budget requirements, timing, and how to prepare for such an install. I wanted to make this video to kind of lay out some misconceptions about such a project, ease of install, time frame, budget requirements, and everything involved. The purpose of this video is going to be for knowledge and information and kind of a guideline for people who are thinking about such a project and aren't sure on things like budget requirements, timing, materials, ease of install. So if you have any questions, this is what this video is going to be for, to kind of clear this up and show you exactly what you would be getting into on something like a Tesla home charger installation. So without further ado, we're going to get started with the materials list. Materials needed for install would be the charger itself, either the Generation 2 kit or the newer Generation 3 kit. Now, we're going to go over individual pricing, but I will give you a total pricing range for budget at the end. A lot of this will vary on complexity of install, area, distance from your panel. There will be a few things, but there'll be a good range to where you have a solid idea getting into it. So for the charger itself, if you're going with a Gen 2 or Gen 3, the prices, depending on where you get it and condition, is going to be between $350 and $500. The next thing you're going to want to look at is wire. You're going to want to get a good length on that wire. So get a rough estimate of measurement from the breaker panel that you will be installing the breaker for this charger for, and then the charger location. So if it's in the garage, panels in the basement, get a rough distance, just a foot, doesn't need to be in inches, for wire purchase. So you can take that estimate, round up, and then that'll give you a good idea for wiring. You're going to want to be looking at 4-gauge wiring for a typical 60 amp 2-pole breaker on a 240 volt system. So looking at this chart, you can find this chart, you can either screenshot it here, you can look on Tesla's website, or it will probably come with the manual whenever you buy the charger. If you buy it new, it should come with the manual laying out basic installation instructions and then requirements such as this. So you're going to see the charge speed. So you're looking at the charge speed. What charge speed do you desire? If it's lower, if you're not too worried, if you think it's always going to be an overnight charging thing, or maybe you don't drive the car as frequently, or if it's a frequent daily driver, you're going to want this higher charging rate. So if you want this higher charging rate, you look at the model of vehicle, you select this row, you come over, and this is power at 240 volts, which typically in a US household, you're going to be running a 2-pole 240 volt breaker system. And then you go to the maximum output amps, 48, and then you always want to go above that so you're not running at the peak and risking overheating or damaging any of the electrical components involved. So if you wanted a Model S at the top charge speed, you're going to want to come over and get a 60 amp 2-pole breaker. Now, if you are not sure of anything that this is talking about, you're going to want to talk to a local licensed electrician. Quick disclaimer, for any of this, you want to involve your local licensed electrician for panel work, wire pulling, install, landing of the wires into the terminals on the interior of the charger itself. If you are not licensed, I do not recommend doing this yourself. If you're not licensed and you're not confident, please talk to your local licensed electrician. So if you look right here, this is something that I got off of Tesla's website. I just went to their website, downloaded the manual for one of their mounted in-home wall chargers. And this is extra tools and materials required. So if you are licensed or you're confident, a lot of this stuff, if you contract this out to a licensed electrician, they will provide. But if not, this just gives you a whole overview of tools and materials required. Stop, screenshot the list if you need to, if this is something you're going to be doing on your own. But if not, this is most likely all going to be taken care of by the licensed electrician that you contract out. So for labor cost and timing, depending on where you're at, the contractors you have at your disposal in your area, it's going to range anywhere from $50 an hour upwards of $70 an hour for a licensed electrician to come out and provide such a service. Time frame, you're looking anywhere between 2 to 3 hours, and this stuff is all dependent on location of breaker and relation to location of charger installation. So if you are running from all the way across your property over to your garage and it's a 100-foot pole, then you're most likely going to be coming at a higher cost in wire material and labor cost as well. It's just it's going to take more time. But if your garage is directly adjacent above ground to the basement where your panel is, then that's a short run. Should probably only take about 2 hours. So for all other materials that the electrician will be bringing, if you have an electrician do this, or if you're licensed or competent, if you're doing it yourself, all other material I would range between $150 and $250. So that would be a good budget range. Adding all those costs together for a budget range, you're looking anywhere between $600 on the low end if you find a used charger. It's a short run. You have a good electrician that'll give you a good deal, all the way up to around $950 to $1,000 on the high end if you're buying everything new. It's a long run, a lot of wire. Quick tip, these chargers actually have Wi-Fi capability. So if you are within range, that would be great, because if it's within your Wi-Fi network scope, the range that your Wi-Fi can reach, you can actually remotely connect to it to do things like firmware updates remotely from your phone, remote diagnostics access, and usage data tracking capabilities. So for a round overview, you're looking at anywhere between 2 to 3 hours of installation on site by a licensed electrician or by a competent individual. You're looking at a price range between $600 to $950. All right, guys, so that's kind of the general overview of the video. I hope you enjoyed this style of content. I'm going to be doing more like this. You can comment down below anything you'd like to see, maybe something on the more technical side like this install, or maybe more basic like how to change out a wall outlet in the kitchen for a GFCI, anything like that. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and happy charging.